Welcome, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. In today's video, we'll take a deep dive into the fascinating history and the incredible value of the 1970-60 Lincoln Liberty 1-cent coin. This particular penny might look like an ordinary coin to the untrained eye, but its connection to American history, its high copper content, and potential for hidden errors make it a valuable piece in the world of numismatics. If you have ever wondered why certain coins are worth much more than their face value, then this is the video for you. We'll explore the historical significance of the 1970-60 penny, its potential errors, its overall condition, and what makes this coin a possible treasure for collectors. Let's dive in. The Lincoln cent, which first appeared in 1909, was created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it marked the first time a U.S. president was depicted on a circulating coin. The coin's obverse design has remained largely unchanged since its inception, featuring the right-facing bust of Lincoln, while the reverse design transitioned from the original wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, a design by Frank Gasparo. While the year 1976 is widely known for being the bicentennial year of American independence, the penny itself didn't feature any special commemorative design. However, the coins struck that year still hold great significance due to their historical context. The Denver Mint, designated by the D Mint mark, played a crucial role in minting coins for circulation during this celebratory time. The U.S. Mint focused on issuing commemorative quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins with bicentennial designs, but the Lincoln cent remained unchanged, continuing its iconic role in U.S. commerce. The 1976 penny was minted during a time of great reflection in America, a year when the country celebrated its 200th birthday, with echoes of patriotism and historic remembrance in the air. The coin reflects an era in which the Lincoln cent was still composed of 95% copper, a valuable metal that would soon rise in price, leading to major changes in U.S. coin production by 1982. The 1970-60 Lincoln cent was minted at the Denver Mint, which has long been a cornerstone in U.S. coin production. Established in 1906, the Denver Mint has played a key role in ensuring that the U.S. currency supply is sufficient and robust. In 1976, over 4.2 billion pennies were struck at the Denver Mint alone, making the 1970-60 Lincoln cent a relatively common coin. Despite this high mintage, the 1970-60 penny can still hold substantial value based on factors such as its condition, any unique errors, and whether it's been well preserved. Let's explore why this coin is still worth paying attention to even with its large circulation numbers. On the obverse, we find the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's image symbolizes his enduring legacy as the 16th President of the United States, remembered for his leadership during the Civil War and his role in the abolition of slavery. The phrase "I in God we trust" arches over the top of Lincoln's head, while liberty is placed to the left of the portrait, a reminder of Lincoln's commitment to freedom. The year 1976 appears on the right, along with the all-important D Mint mark below the date, signifying that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. On the reverse, design by Frank Gasparo, is a detailed depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, which replaced the wheat ears design in 1959. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny image of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, an incredible detail that further connects this coin to the man it honors. The inscriptions "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum" appear above the memorial, with the denomination 1 cent at the bottom. The Lincoln Memorial design served on the penny until 2008, adding further historical value to these mid-1970s coins. As previously mentioned, 1976 was a year of immense historical importance for the United States. The Bicentennial celebrations honored 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and this patriotic sentiment resonated throughout the country. While quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins were minted with special bicentennial designs, the humble penny kept its traditional Lincoln imagery. However, this year also marked a period of economic change. Inflation was on the rise, and as the cost of producing copper coins became more expensive, the U.S. Mint would eventually change the composition of the penny by 1982 to include less copper and more zinc. This makes the 1970-60 penny one of the last Lincoln cents to contain a substantial amount of copper, which contributes to its intrinsic value, especially as the price of copper continues to fluctuate. The 1970-60 Lincoln cent was minted in significant quantities, with over 4.2 billion coins produced. While the high mintage might suggest that this coin is not especially rare, it still holds collectible value, especially in higher grades or if any unique errors are present. The copper content, combined with its historical context, makes it a popular item among collectors, even for those who may not be seeking ultra-rare coins. Even though the 1970-60 penny had a high mintage, certain varieties and era coins can significantly increase its value. These rare variations are sought after by collectors and can fetch prices much higher than the face value of the coin. 1. Double die error. Some 1970-60 pennies have been reported with double die errors, particularly on the obverse. A double die error occurs when the design is accidentally impressed twice onto the coin, resulting in a noticeable doubling of certain features like the date, letters, or Lincoln's profile. This kind of error can drastically increase the coin's value, with prices reaching into the hundreds of dollars depending on the severity and visibility of the doubling. 2. Off-center strike. Another desirable error is the off-center strike where the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be off-center or even missing. These errors can range in severity, and the more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. A well-defined off-center strike on a 1970-60 penny could be worth anywhere from $50 to several $100. 3. Die cracks and cuds. Over time, minting dies can develop cracks, leading to die crack errors on coins. These appear as raised lines or blobs on the coin, where extra metal has filled the crack. Cuds occur when a portion of the die breaks off entirely, leaving a blank area on the coin. These errors are unique and can make a 1970-60 penny worth much more, with collectors paying premium prices for especially interesting die cracks or cuds. 4. Clipped planchet. A clipped planchet error happens when the metal disc that becomes the coin is not properly cut, resulting in a coin with a missing portion along its edge. While clipped planchet errors are relatively rare, they can be worth anywhere from $50 to $150 depending on the size and location of the clip. The value of the 1970-60 penny can vary widely based on its condition and whether it features any errors. The most common grading scale for coins ranges from per P1 where the details are barely discernible, to mint state MS70 where the coin shows no signs of wear and retains its original luster. 1. Circulated coins. A typical 1970-60 Lincoln cent found in circulation will generally be worth its face value 1 cent. However, even circulated pennies can have value if they are part of a collection or feature a minor error. 2. Uncirculated coins. Mint state MS coins which have never been in circulation and retain their original brilliance are much more valuable. A 1970-60 penny graded MS65 or higher could be worth anywhere from $5 to $25 depending on the coin's condition and demand in the market. 3. Error coins. As mentioned earlier, coins with errors such as double dies off-center strikes or die cracks can be worth significantly more, with some fetching hundreds of dollars. 4. Copper bullion value. Another consideration is the copper content of the 1970-60 penny. Since it was struck before the change in composition in 1982, this coin is made of 95% copper. With the price of copper fluctuating, the intrinsic metal value of each 1970-60 penny can exceed its face value. While it might not make the coin worth a fortune, the high copper content adds an extra layer of value for those interested in bullion. The 1970-60 Lincoln Liberty 1 cent coin is more than just a. Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and history lovers. In today's episode, we're exploring a fascinating and often overlooked piece of U.S. coinage, the 1969 Liberty 1 cent, also known as the 1969 Lincoln cent. This humble penny has a story that spans history, design changes, and even some rare and valuable errors that can make it worth far more than just 1 cent. Whether you've stumbled across one of these coins in your pocket or are looking for key pieces to add to your collection, this video will dive deep into the history, production, and potential value of the 1969 penny. So stick around to discover if you might be holding onto a small fortune. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, introduced by the U.S. Mint to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first American coin to feature a real historical figure, breaking away from the tradition of depicting allegorical representations of liberty. In 1969, the penny was part of the ongoing Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had been introduced in 1959 to honor Lincoln's legacy further. The front of the coin, designed by Victor David Brenner, features a profile of Lincoln, while the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, shows the Lincoln Memorial. This design was in circulation from 1959 to 2008, and the 1969 penny is a key part of this era in American coinage. The 1969 Lincoln cent was minted at 3 primary locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each of these mints left its mark on the coin, and knowing where your coin was minted is essential for understanding its value. No mint mark. Pennies without a mint mark were minted in Philadelphia, which produced 1.13 billion pennies that year. D mint mark. Coins with a small d below the date were minted in Denver, which produced 4 billion pennies in 1969. S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint struck around 545 million pennies in 1969, marked by an S mint mark. These were primarily meant for circulation, though proof coins from San Francisco were also produced for collectors. The Denver and San Francisco mints produced the majority of the 1969 pennies, but it's the San Francisco Mint's proof coins and rare era varieties that make some of these pennies particularly valuable. Like other pennies minted from 1962 to 1981, the 1969 Lincoln cent was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. This copper-heavy composition gives it a tangible sense of weight and durability, especially when compared to modern pennies minted after 1982, which are primarily composed of zinc. The obverse side of the coin displays a bust of Abraham Lincoln accompanied by the inscriptions "I in God We Trust, Liberty," and the minting date. On the reverse side we see the Lincoln Memorial flanked by the words "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum." Below the memorial is the denomination 1 cent. While most 1969 pennies are common, some rare errors and variations have caught the attention of collectors, and these can command high prices. Now, let's get to the part that every coin collector loves. The rare varieties and errors that can make a simple 1969 penny worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. These are the key varieties to look out for. 1. 1969 S double die obverse DDO. The most famous and valuable error for the 1969 penny is the 1969 S double die obverse. In this variety, the design on the front of the coin, especially the date, the word Liberty and "I in God We Trust," appears double due to a misalignment during the minting process. This error is incredibly rare, and well-preserved examples of this variety can fetch upwards of 50,000 or more, depending on the coin's condition. The 1969 S double die obverse is considered one of the most valuable Lincoln cent errors ever found. 2. Repunched mint mark RPM. Another notable error from 1969 is the repunched mint mark, particularly on coins minted in Denver. This occurs when the mint mark is punched more than once, creating a distinct overlapping appearance. While not as rare as the double die, repunched mint marks can still add value, especially in high grades, with coins fetching anywhere from 10 to 100. 3. Off-center strikes. Off-center strikes are also found on 1969 pennies, where the design is misaligned due to an error during minting. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin. These errors can be worth anywhere from 20 to 100 depending on the severity of the misstrike. 4. Die cracks and cuds. Another interesting error type involves die cracks or cuds, where a piece of the die breaks off during the minting process, leaving raised lines or lumps on the coin's surface. While die cracks are not as valuable as the double die error, they can still fetch a premium, especially if the crack is significant or affects an important part of the design. As with all coins, the condition or grade of your 1969 penny plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS-70 being a perfect, uncirculated coin. Circulated condition good to extremely fine. Most 1969 pennies in circulated condition are only worth 1 to 5 cents due to their wear. Uncirculated condition MS-60 to MS-64. Uncirculated 1969 pennies can be worth anywhere from 0.50 to 5 depending on the grade. High-grade mint state MS-65 or higher. High-grade uncirculated pennies, especially from Denver or San Francisco, can be worth 20 to 50. 1969 S double die obverse. The real treasure here is the 1969 S double die obverse, which, in high grades, can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Even lower grade examples of this error can sell for thousands. Another interesting fact about the 1969 penny is its copper content. Pennies minted before 1982 contain 95% copper, which gives them a melt value higher than their face value. Although it's illegal to melt down pennies for their copper, the metal content of a 1969 penny is currently worth around 2 to 3 cents, making it more valuable than newer pennies. Collectors and investors often hold on to these pre-1982 pennies as a potential long-term investment, hoping that one day, if the laws change, their copper content could make them even more valuable. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, if you have a 1969 penny in your pocket or coin collection, it might be worth more than you think. While most 1969 pennies are only worth their face value, rare errors like the 1969 S double die obverse can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Even without errors, high-grade, uncirculated 1969 pennies can fetch a nice premium, especially for those minted in San Francisco. And let's not forget the potential long-term value of the copper content in these pre-1982 pennies. So, check your pennies carefully. Your everyday change could contain a piece of history that's worth a fortune. Welcome back, coin collectors and history lovers. Today, we are diving deep into the history and importance of a classic American coin, the 1977 D. Lincoln Liberty 1-cent coin. At first glance, it may seem like just another penny, but there's so much more to this coin than its 1-cent face value. From its rich history to its intriguing varieties and hidden worth, this coin can be a real treasure for those in the know. If you are interested in learning how this coin fits into U.S. numismatic history and why it could be worth far more than you think, stick around. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, has a storied history dating back to 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin's design, featuring the right-facing portrait of Lincoln, was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and remains one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage to this day. The cent marked a significant shift in American coin design, being the first U.S. coin to feature a president's likeness. Fast forward to 1977 and the Lincoln cent was still going strong. However, the economic and political context had changed significantly. By this time, the coin had undergone one major compositional shift: the switch from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc in the original coins to the same composition, but with the removal of tin after 1962. This means that the 1977 D penny was still part of the last series of Lincoln cents struck with a high copper content before the shift to a largely zinc composition in 1982. This fact alone makes the 1977 D Lincoln cent a significant piece in the series. The 1977 D Lincoln cent was produced at the Denver Mint ***, as indicated by the D mint mark just below the date on the obverse of the coin. The Denver Mint played a key role in producing U.S. coinage throughout the 20th century, and 1977 was no exception. In that year, the Denver Mint produced an impressive 4,194,062, 300 Lincoln cents, making it one of the most commonly found pennies in circulation. While this high mintage figure may lead some to think that the coin is not valuable, there's more to consider than just how many were produced. The value of any coin depends on factors such as condition, rarity of specific varieties, or errors and demand among collectors. In the case of the 1977 D penny, these factors can significantly elevate its worth, especially if you know what to look for. On the obverse of the 1977 penny, you'll find the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Brenner. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is remembered for his leadership during the Civil War and his role in abolishing slavery. The words "I in God we trust" are inscribed along the top edge, while the word liberty appears to the left of Lincoln's portrait. The year 1977, along with the Denver Mint's mint mark, is positioned to the right of Lincoln's bust. The reverse of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the Lincoln Memorial, which had replaced the original wheat ears design in 1959. The Lincoln Memorial design ran from 1959 to 2008, and during this period, it became synonymous with the Lincoln cent. A fun detail to note is that if you look closely at the Lincoln Memorial on the coin, you can actually see a tiny depiction of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, a tribute to both Lincoln and the famous statue located in Washington, D.C. 1977 was a pivotal year for the United States, economically and politically. Inflation was on the rise, impacting the purchasing power of everyday Americans, yet the penny remained an essential part of daily transactions. Even though inflation had eroded the value of 1 cent, the Lincoln penny continued to be used widely across the country, making the 1977 coin a common sight in pockets and purses. The penny, despite its small denomination, played a significant role in everyday commerce and served as a symbol of economic stability. The continued use of copper in the coin's composition also reflects a historical moment, as the rising price of copper in the late 1970s would eventually lead to the shift toward cheaper metals in coin production just a few years later. As mentioned earlier, the 1977 Lincoln cent was minted in large numbers. Over 4 billion were struck at the Denver Mint alone. While this high mintage means that the coin is not rare in the traditional sense, its value as a collectible is determined by more than just scarcity. Factors such as condition, rarity of errors, and high-grade examples can significantly increase its value. Collectors often look for coins that have remained in uncirculated or mint state MS condition, meaning they haven't been used in everyday transactions and retain their original luster and sharp details. These coins can be worth far more than their face value, especially when graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC. Now, let's talk about some of the varieties and errors that can turn a regular 1977 Lincoln cent into a coin worth much more than 1 cent. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors and can command significant premiums in the marketplace. 1. Double die error. Although no major double die errors have been widely reported for the 1977 penny, collectors are always on the lookout for minor doubling on the obverse or reverse. Doubling can occur during the minting process when the die shifts slightly, causing certain elements of the design to appear twice. Even subtle doubling on the date or lettering can increase the coin's value. 2. Off-center strike. Off-center strikes occur when the planchet, the blank disc that becomes the coin, is not properly aligned with the dies during the striking process. This results in a coin that appears misaligned, with part of the design missing. The degree of the off-center strike affects the value. A more significant error can lead to a much higher value. An off-center 1977 penny could be worth anywhere from $20 to several $100 depending on how much of the design is missing. 3. Die cracks and cuds. Die cracks and cuds are errors that occur when the die used to strike the coin develops a crack or defect. These flaws appear as raised lines or blobs of extra metal on the surface of the coin. Die cracks can appear in various locations, and larger or more prominent cracks often fetch higher prices. A cud, which is a more severe form of die crack where a chunk of the die is missing, can make a coin highly collectible and valuable. 4. Clipped planchet. A clipped planchet occurs when a portion of the blank disc is missing before the coin is struck, leading to a coin with a noticeable curved or straight clip along the edge. Clipped planchet errors are rarer than other types of errors and can fetch prices ranging from $50 to over $100 depending on the severity and location of the clip. Now, let's get into the most exciting part, the value of the 1977 Lincoln cent. While it may have a high mintage, certain conditions and varieties can significantly increase its value, making it a desirable addition to any collection. 1. Circulated coins. A typical 1977 D Lincoln cent that has been in circulation will usually only be worth its face value 1 cent ***. However, even circulated coins can hold some value if they are part of a complete set of Lincoln cents, or if they feature minor errors. 2. Mint state coins. Uncirculated 1977 D Lincoln cents, particularly those graded in mint state 66 ms 66 or higher, can fetch significant premiums. For example, a coin graded ms 66 can be worth between 20 to 40, while a coin graded ms 67 can be worth over 100. The higher the grade, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. 3. Error coins. As mentioned earlier, error coins such as off-center strikes, die cracks, and clipped planchets can be worth anywhere from $50 to several $100 depending on the severity and type of error. Collectors pay a premium for error coins due to their rarity and uniqueness. 4. Proof coins. While the 1977 D penny was not struck in proof at the Denver Mint, proof pennies were produced that year at the San Francisco Mint. These proof coins are struck using specially prepared dies and blanks, resulting in a highly polished, mirror-like finish. A proof 1977 penny in top condition can be worth $20 to $50 depending on the grade. The 1977 D Lincoln Liberty 1 cent coin may not immediately seem like a rare or valuable piece, but as. Welcome back, fellow coin collectors and history buffs. Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic coins of the late 20th century, the 1979 Liberty 1 cent coin, also known as the 1979 Lincoln cent. This coin is a piece of everyday currency that has stood the test of time and has a history rich with design evolution, fascinating errors, and hidden value. Whether you have got one of these coins sitting in a jar or you're actively hunting for rare varieties, this video will take you through everything you need to know from its minting history to its potential value in the collector's market. So, let's get started and find out what makes the 1979 penny a hidden treasure. The 1979 Lincoln cent is part of the broader Lincoln cent series, which has been a mainstay of American coinage since 1909. This was the year the U.S. Mint introduced the Lincoln cent to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Lincoln was the first historical figure to appear on a U.S. coin, breaking away from the tradition of featuring allegorical images of liberty. The obverse design, featuring a bust of Lincoln, has remained largely unchanged since 1909, with only a few adjustments over the years. The reverse side of the coin from 1959 to 2008 depicted the Lincoln Memorial celebrating the man who helped preserve the Union during the Civil War. The 1979 penny is a part of this Lincoln Memorial reverse series, which ran from 1959 to 2008, making it a key collectible for those interested in mid-20th century U.S. coinage. In 1979, the U.S. Mint produced the Lincoln cent at 3 primary facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. The mint mark below the date on the obverse side of the coin can help you determine which mint produced your penny. No mint mark. Coins without a mint mark were minted in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 6 billion pennies in 1979. D mint mark. Coins with a small d under the date were minted in Denver, which struck around 4.1 billion pennies that year. S mint mark. Pennies with an S were minted in San Francisco, and these coins were primarily used for proof sets, making them far less common in circulation. While billions of pennies were produced in 1979, some key varieties and mint errors have made certain coins from this year much more valuable than their 1 cent face value. Let's take a closer look at the composition of the 1979 penny. Like other Lincoln cents produced between 1962 and 1981, the 1979 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This gives it a weight of 3.11 grams, making it heavier than pennies minted after 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition due to rising copper costs. The obverse side of the coin, designed by Victor David Brenner, features the classic bust of President Abraham Lincoln, along with the words "I in God we trust, liberty," and the minting date. The reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays the Lincoln Memorial with the words "United States of America et pluribus unum" and the denomination 1 cent. Now, here's where things get interesting. While most 1979 pennies are common, there are specific varieties and eras that collectors look for, some of which can turn your ordinary penny into a highly sought-after collectible. Now, let's get into what every collector is really interested in: the varieties and eras that can make certain 1979 pennies incredibly valuable. Here are some key varieties to look out for. 1. Wide versus narrow rim varieties. Near date versus far date. The 1979 S-proof Lincoln Cent is known for having two distinct varieties: Type 1 narrow rim and Type 2 wide rim. The difference lies in how close the date is to the rim of the coin. Type 2 wide rim coins are the rare variety and are highly sought after by collectors, especially in high-grade condition. These pennies can be worth anywhere from $50 to $200 or more, depending on the grade. 2. Double die obverse DDO. Another key variety to look out for is the double die obverse, where the design elements on the front of the coin, like Lincoln's profile, the date, or the word Liberty, appear double due to a misalignment during the minting process. While no major DDO variety has been confirmed for the 1979 penny, it's always worth checking your coins closely for any doubling, as these errors can significantly boost the coin's value. 3. Off-center strikes. A more common error to look out for is the off-center strike, where the design is misaligned, leaving part of the coin blank. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin. Depending on the extent of the error, off-center strikes from 1979 can be worth $50 to $150. 4. Repunched mint marks RPM. In some cases, the mint mark on a 1979 penny, particularly those from Denver, was punched more than once. These repunched mint marks are highly collectible and can add 10 to 50 or more to the value of the coin. 5. Clipped planchets. Occasionally, a coin may be struck on a planchet that wasn't properly cut, resulting in a curved clip along the edge of the coin. These clipped planchet errors can be worth $20 to $100 depending on the size of the clip and the coin's condition. While error coins and varieties are exciting, the condition or grade of your 1979 penny can also play a huge role in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS-70 representing a perfect, uncirculated coin. Here's a general breakdown of how condition impacts the value of a 1979 penny. Circulated condition: good to extremely fine. Most 1979 pennies found in circulation are worth 1 to 2 cents depending on where. Uncirculated condition: MS-60 to MS-64. An uncirculated 1979 penny in mint condition can be worth 0.25 to 1. High-grade mint state: MS-65 or higher. A 1979 penny in MS-65 condition or higher can be worth 5 to 10, and certain high-grade coins from proof sets can be worth significantly more, especially if they are graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Error coins. As mentioned earlier, rare varieties and error coins, such as wide rim varieties or double die obverse, can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100 depending on the grade. One of the reasons the 1979 penny is worth holding onto is its copper content. Pennies minted before 1982 are made of 95% copper, giving them a value tied to the price of the metal. Although it's illegal to melt down U.S. pennies for their copper content, the copper in a 1979 penny is currently worth around 2 to 3 cents more than its face value. This might not seem like much, but many collectors and investors are stockpiling pre-1982 pennies, betting on the possibility that one day the laws might change. If that happens, the value of these copper pennies could increase even further, making them a smart long-term investment. Welcome, coin collectors, history buffs, and those intrigued by the fascinating world of numismatics. Today, we are diving deep into the story of a seemingly common coin that may hold hidden value: the 1994 Lincoln Liberty 1-cent coin. While it might appear like just another penny in your pocket, the 1994 edition carries an intriguing history, possible errors, and specific conditions that could make it a valuable addition to any collection. In this video, we will walk you through the rich history of the Lincoln Cent, the importance of the 1994 edition in numismatics, and how this particular penny can hold more than just its 1-cent face value. Let's explore what makes the 1994 Lincoln Cent a potential treasure, and why you might want to take a second look at any you come across. The Lincoln Cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, holds a special place in U.S. coinage history. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait. The design on the obverse front of the coin, depicting Lincoln's bust, was created by Victor David Brenner, a sculptor who was inspired by Lincoln's dedication to preserving the Union during the Civil War. This design has endured for over a century, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. For much of its early history, the reverse side of the Lincoln penny featured two wheat stalks. This design, known as the wheat cent, was replaced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The new reverse design by Frank Gasparo featured the Lincoln Memorial, which remains an iconic symbol of Lincoln's legacy and can be found on all pennies produced between 1959 and 2008. Now let's fast forward to the 1994 Lincoln cent. This coin was produced near the tail end of the Lincoln Memorial reverse era, just before significant changes came to U.S. coinage in the 21st century. It's also one of the last pennies to be made with the traditional copper-plated zinc composition, a standard introduced in 1982 due to rising metal costs. While 1994 may not have been a year of radical change for the penny, it remains important to collectors due to its potential errors and the opportunity to find high-quality uncirculated coins. The 1994 Lincoln penny was minted in large numbers at both the Philadelphia Mint no mint mark and the Denver Mint with a D mint mark. In fact, billions of pennies were struck in 1994, reflecting the massive demand for 1-cent coins in everyday commerce. Here's a quick breakdown of the mintage figures. 1994 Philadelphia, over 6.5 billion coins were minted. 1994 Denver, approximately 7.1 billion coins were produced. Given these figures, the 1994 penny might seem like an incredibly common coin, and it is. However, as we'll explore shortly, factors such as condition errors and varieties can make certain examples of this coin worth significantly more than face value. The obverse of the 1994 Lincoln cent features the enduring bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right. The inscriptions "I in God We Trust" arc over Lincoln's head, while the word liberty appears to the left of his profile, and the year 1994 sits to the right. If you have a Denver minted version, you'll see the letter D under the date, indicating that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse continues to feature the Lincoln Memorial, an iconic structure designed by Frank Gasparo. Above the memorial are the words United States of America and the phrase E pluribus unum, while the denomination 1 cent is inscribed at the bottom. If you look closely, you can even spot a tiny depiction of Abraham Lincoln seated inside the memorial, an intricate detail that has long fascinated collectors. While 1994 itself did not see any dramatic changes in the design of the Lincoln cent, it was a year marked by economic changes and shifts in U.S. minting practices. The copper-plated zinc composition, which had been used since 1982, continued, with pennies consisting of 97.5% zinc and a thin layer of 2.5% copper plating. This composition was introduced to cut down on the costs of minting, as copper prices had risen substantially in the late 20th century. What makes the 1994 penny important for collectors is not just its mass production but also the potential for errors and the quest to find high-quality mint-state uncirculated coins. As we'll discuss later, coins in pristine condition or with unique varieties can fetch prices far beyond their face value. One of the most exciting aspects of collecting Lincoln cents is the possibility of finding coins with minting errors or unique varieties. These rare occurrences can make an otherwise common coin incredibly valuable. Here are some key errors and varieties to look for on the 1994 Lincoln cent. 1. Double die error. The double die error occurs when the design on the die is accidentally impressed twice, resulting in doubled images on the coin. While this error is more commonly associated with earlier years, it's always worth inspecting your 1994 penny closely for any signs of doubling, especially on key features like Lincoln's profile, the date, or the inscriptions. 2. Off-center strikes. Off-center strikes happen when the coin is not properly aligned with the die during the minting process, causing the design to be misaligned or incomplete. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin can be. Some off-center 1994 pennies have been known to fetch prices between $50 to $150 or more, depending on the severity of the misalignment. 3. Die cracks and cuds. Over time, the dies used to strike coins can develop cracks or even lose pieces. When this happens, the coin may show raised lines, die cracks, or lumps of metal where the die broke off cuds. These imperfections are highly sought after by collectors and can increase the value of a 1994 penny. 4. Clipped planchet. Another error to watch for is a clipped planchet, which occurs when the metal blank or planchet used to make the coin is improperly cut. This results in a coin with a missing portion along the edge. Clipped planchet errors are rare and can be worth upwards of $100 depending on the size and location of the clip. When determining the value of a 1994 Lincoln cent, condition is one of the most important factors. Coins are graded on a scale from per P1 to mint state MS70, with higher grades indicating better condition. Let's break down the potential value of the 1994 penny based on its condition. 1. Circulated coins. A typical 1994 penny that has been in circulation for years will likely be worth 1 cent its face value. However, coins that are well preserved, even if they have seen some circulation, may hold more value to collectors looking for examples in higher grades. 2. Mint state coins. Coins that have not been circulated and remain in mint state condition are much more valuable. A 1994 Lincoln cent graded MS65 or higher could be worth between $5 to $20 depending on the coin's condition and demand. Coins graded MS67 or higher can reach even higher prices, sometimes in the $50 to $100 range. 3. Proof coins. The U.S. Mint also produced proof coins in 1994, which were struck with specially prepared dies and polished blanks to give them a mirror-like finish. Proof pennies are typically not found in circulation and are prized for their high quality and sharp details. A 1994 proof penny in perfect condition can be worth $10 to $25 or more. The 1994 Lincoln Liberty 1 cent coin may seem like a common penny, but it holds significant value for collectors, historians, and enthusiasts of U.S. coinage. With its connection to Abraham Lincoln's enduring legacy, its place in the rich history of U.S. minting, and the possibility of discovering rare errors, the 1994 penny is more than just a coin, it's a piece of American history. Collectors today continue to seek out pristine examples of the 1994 penny, as well as error coins that can be worth hundreds of dollars. So the next time you come across a 1994 Lincoln cent, take a moment to inspect it closely. It could be worth much more than you think. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the 1995 Lincoln Liberty 1 cent coin, a piece of American coinage that may seem common but holds immense historical importance and potential value for collectors. Whether you're new to the world of coin collecting or a seasoned numismatist, this video will provide a comprehensive look into the history, design, varieties, and valuation of the 1995 Lincoln cent. Stick around to find out if that penny in your pocket could be worth a fortune. The Lincoln cent series has a rich history. Beginning in 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a president, and Lincoln, one of the most revered figures in American history, was chosen for this honor. The design by Victor David Brenner has stood the test of time, and Lincoln's profile has been a part of U.S. coinage ever since. The 1995 Lincoln cent was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark on the obverse of the coin. By this time, the coin had been in production for over 85 years, and the design of the coin had only seen minor changes. However, 1995 holds significance for several reasons. 1. Final years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse. The 1995 Lincoln cent was part of the last full decade that featured the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. The Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959 on the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replaced the original wheat ears design. It remained on the coin until 2008, making the 1995 Lincoln cent part of this important era of design. 2. Economic context. The The 1990s were a period of relative economic stability and growth in the US, and the mint continued to produce coins in large numbers to meet the needs of a growing economy. The penny, despite inflation reducing its practical purchasing power, remained in circulation due to its symbolic value and widespread use in transactions. The coin itself was struck using the same composition that had been used since 1982, a copper-plated zinc core made up of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This shift to zinc from the earlier copper composition was a cost-saving measure by the U.S. Mint, as the rising cost of copper had made it more expensive to produce pennies with significant copper content. One of the most intriguing aspects of any coin for collectors is the possibility of finding errors or varieties that make certain coins far more valuable than their face value. The 1995 Lincoln cent has several varieties and mint errors that can significantly increase its worth. 1995 Doubled Die Obverse deal. While the most famous doubled die variety comes from the Philadelphia Mint's 1995 Lincoln cent, no mint mark collectors are still on the lookout for possible error varieties from the Denver Mint as well. These doubled die errors occur when the die used to strike the coin features a doubled image, causing noticeable doubling in elements such as the date, lettering, or Lincoln's profile. The 1995 deal from Philadelphia became highly sought after, raising interest in the entire 1995 series for potential double die errors. Off-center strikes. Off-center errors are always of great interest to collectors. These occur when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing. Depending on how off-center the strike is, a 1995 Lincoln cent with an off-center error can be worth 20 to 100 or more, especially if the date is still visible. Die cracks or cuds. Die cracks appear as raised lines on the coin's surface, often forming along the rim or across Lincoln's face. When these cracks result in the formation of a raised area on the coin, it's called a cud. Both die cracks and cuds can add value, depending on their severity. Clipped planchet. This error happens when the blank or planchet used to strike the coin is incomplete, resulting in a coin with a missing portion. Clipped planchets are highly collectible and can fetch a premium on the market. The obverse of the 1995 Lincoln cent features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait is a symbol of American history and Lincoln's enduring legacy. The detailed craftsmanship in Lincoln's profile captures his solemn demeanor, reminding Americans of his pivotal role in leading the country through the Civil War and ending slavery. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo in 1959. If you look closely at the memorial on the reverse, you can even spot the tiny figure of Lincoln seated in the center, a tribute to the statue found inside the real Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This reverse design was used from 1959 to 2008, marking an important era of U.S. coinage. The memorial itself stands as a symbol of unity and the nation's enduring strength in the face of adversity. The 1995 Lincoln cent had a significant mintage, with over 7,128,560,000 coins produced at the Denver Mint. With such high numbers, the coin is relatively common in circulation today. However, like all coins, the condition and any unique errors can greatly affect its value. While most 1995 Lincoln cents will not fetch more than their face value if heavily circulated, certain high-grade coins or error varieties can be worth much more. This leads us to the important question: what is the value of the 1995 Lincoln cent? For the average circulated 1995 Lincoln cent, the coin will typically be worth its face value 1 cent. However, collectors look for coins in mint state MS condition, and this is where the value can rise significantly. Mint state examples: MS 66 to MS 67. In MS 66 condition, a 1995 Lincoln cent can be worth 10 to 20. In MS 67, a top-tier grade, these coins can fetch 50 to 100 or more depending on market demand. The rarity of finding a coin in this condition is what drives its higher value. Error coins, as mentioned, error varieties such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or clipped planchets can add substantial value. Depending on the type and severity of the error, these coins can sell for $20 to several $100s at auction or through private sales. proof sets and special coins. While the Denver Mint did not produce proof coins, the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints did. Collectors who are interested in completing a full set from 1995 might also seek out the proof coins for that year, which can increase the overall value of a collection. While the 1995 D Lincoln cent is common in circulation today, its long-term investment potential is worth considering for several reasons. 1. Condition matters. As the years go by, fewer coins will remain in mint state condition. Coins in perfect or near-perfect condition are always in demand among collectors, and their value can rise over time as supplies dwindle. 2. Error varieties. Error coins, particularly those with dramatic errors, will always be of interest to collectors. The scarcity of well-preserved error coins from 1995 can lead to higher values as time passes. 3. Historical legacy. The Lincoln cent is one of the most iconic coins in American history. While the 1995 D may not be a standout year, the legacy of the series itself ensures continued interest from collectors seeking to build comprehensive sets of Lincoln cents. In conclusion, the 1995 D Lincoln Liberty 1 cent coin is more than just a piece of small change. It represents a rich part of American history and carries the potential for significant value, especially for collectors who can find high-grade examples or error varieties. Whether you're just getting started with coin collecting or you're a seasoned veteran, the 1995 D penny has a place in any collection. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1995 D Lincoln cent, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating content on coins and collectibles. Let us know in the comments if you found any valuable 1995 D pennies. Welcome back to the channel, all you coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Today we are taking a closer look at a seemingly ordinary coin that has an extraordinary story behind it, the 1996 Lincoln Liberty 1 cent coin. We will be digging into its history, exploring its design features, and, most importantly, revealing its true value and how it could be worth far more than its face value of just 1 cent. If you're curious to know what makes the 1996 penny unique and why it's important for your coin collection, stay tuned because this is one episode you don't want to miss. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage for over a century, first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first time a U.S. president appeared on a circulating coin, and Lincoln's portrait has since become one of the most recognizable designs in U.S. currency. This iconic series has undergone a few changes over the years, but the 1996 penny remains part of a significant era in its evolution. By the time the 1996 Lincoln cent was minted, it had already been through some major transformations, most notably the change in composition that occurred in 1982. From its inception in 1909 until 1982, the penny was made primarily of 95% copper. However, due to the rising cost of copper, the U.S. Mint decided to switch to a zinc core coated in a thin layer of copper. The 1996 penny followed this modern composition, with 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. While 1996 might not stand out as a landmark year in the history of the Lincoln cent, it holds its own significance for several reasons. 1. A period of stability in U.S. coinage. The 1990s were a time of relative consistency for U.S. coin designs. The Lincoln cent had retained the same core design for decades, symbolizing stability and continuity in American coinage. The 1996 penny is one of the last coins struck before the Lincoln Memorial reverse design was retired in 2008. 2. Economic context. The economy in the mid-1990s was booming, and pennies were being minted in large quantities to keep up with everyday transactions. Even though inflation had reduced the penny's purchasing power, it remained an important part of the U.S. monetary system, especially in pricing and commerce. 3. Minting at multiple locations. The 1996 Lincoln cent was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with the Denver minted coins bearing a D mintmark and the Philadelphia minted coins having no mintmark. The high mintage numbers in both facilities make the coin common in circulation, but as we'll see later, condition and specific errors can significantly increase their value. The obverse front of the 1996 Lincoln cent, like every Lincoln penny since 1909, features a right-facing profile of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's image serves as a reminder of his crucial role in American history, particularly during the Civil War and the abolition of slavery. The inscription above Lincoln's head reads, "I in God we trust," with the word liberty to his left and the year 1996 to his right. The reverse back of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo. This reverse design had been in use since 1959, replacing the earlier wheat ears design. The Lincoln Memorial serves as a tribute to both Lincoln's legacy and the nation's commitment to unity and equality. If you look closely at the center of the memorial on the coin, you can see a tiny depiction of Lincoln seated inside, mirroring the famous statue located in the actual memorial in Washington, D.C. The simplicity of the design belies the rich symbolism that these images carry. Lincoln stands for freedom, perseverance, and the strength of the American spirit, qualities that are still highly revered today. The 1996 Lincoln cent was produced in large quantities, with a total mintage of over 6 billion coins across both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The exact numbers break down as follows. Philadelphia Mint, approximately 6,609,190,000 pennies were struck without a mint mark. Denver Mint, approximately 6,510,795,000 pennies were struck with the D mint mark. Given these astronomical mintage figures, the 1996 Lincoln cent is extremely common in circulation today. However, as is always the case with coins, rarity and value are closely tied to condition and varieties. Even a coin with a mintage in the billions can become highly valuable if it has specific qualities that set it apart from the rest. Even though the 1996 Lincoln cent may seem like a common coin, there are a few varieties and errors that can significantly increase its value to collectors. These are the types of coins you should be looking for. 1. 1996 Doubled Die Obverse DDO. Although no major doubled die varieties have been confirmed for the 1996 penny, collectors are always on the lookout for subtle doubling on the obverse of the coin. Any doubling on the lettering, Lincoln's profile, or the date could make the coin far more valuable. Even minor doubling can increase the value by several times its face value. 2. Off-center strikes. Off-center strike errors are caused when the planchet, the blank metal disc, is not properly aligned with the dies during minting. This results in a coin that is struck off-center, with part of the design missing. Off-center errors can be highly valuable, with the worth depending on how much of the design is affected. Coins that are off-center by 5% to 50% can fetch prices ranging from $20 to several $100 depending on condition and how much of the date is visible. 3. Die cracks and cuds. Over time, the dies used to strike coins can develop cracks or defects, which appear as raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. These errors are sought after by collectors and can add value to the coin. The larger or more noticeable the die crack or cud, the higher the potential value. 4. Clipped planchet. A clipped planchet occurs when a portion of the blank coin is missing before the coin is struck. This error can result in a coin with a curved clip along its edge. Clipped planchets are less common than other mint errors, making them highly collectible. Depending on the size and placement of the clip, a 1996 Lincoln cent with a clipped planchet could be worth anywhere from $50 to $200. Now, let's dive into the valuation of the 1996 Lincoln cent, one of the most critical aspects of this coin. The value of the 1996 penny varies depending on its condition and whether it has any errors or varieties. 1. Circulated coins. Most 1996 pennies found in circulation today are worth only their face value 1 cent. However, even these common coins are an important part of a collector's set, especially when trying to complete a full series of Lincoln cents. 2. Mint state examples. MS66 and MS67, coins that have never entered circulation and remain in pristine condition, are classified as mint state MS. A 1996 penny in MS66 grade can be worth around 5 to 10, while a coin graded MS67 can be worth 50 to 100 or more. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin becomes, driving up its value. 3. Error coins. As mentioned earlier, error coins such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks can greatly increase the coin's value. For example, an off-center 1996 penny could be worth anywhere from 20 to 150 or more depending on the severity of the error and its condition. 4. Proof coins. While the 1996 Lincoln cent was not struck in proof at the Denver Mint, the San Francisco Mint produced proof versions of the coin for collectors. Proof coins are known for their mirror-like finishes and sharp details. A 1996 proof penny graded as PR69 Deep Cameo can fetch 20 to 50, with higher grades commanding even more. While the 1996 Lincoln cent may not be the rarest coin in circulation, it has long-term investment potential for several reasons. 1. High-grade coins. Over time, fewer and fewer 1996 pennies will remain in mint condition as coins naturally wear down in circulation. High-grade, uncirculated examples will become increasingly rare, driving up their value. 2. Error varieties. Error coins, especially those with significant flaws, will always be in demand among collectors. The rarity of certain errors makes them highly valuable, and their worth is likely to increase as fewer examples remain available. 3. Collectible status. The Lincoln cent is an enduring symbol of American history. Welcome back, fellow coin enthusiasts and history buffs. Today, we're diving into the world of U.S. coinage to explore a coin that might seem common but holds significant value and history: the 1996 Lincoln Liberty 1-cent coin. Whether you're a casual collector or a dedicated numismatist, this deep dive into the history, varieties, and potential value of the 1996 penny is packed with crucial information. Stick around, because you might just discover that the penny in your pocket could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909, is one of the most iconic coins in American history. Featuring the bust of Abraham Lincoln, the coin was created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design, crafted by Victor David Brenner, has been in use for well over a century, with only minor changes to the details and composition over the years. Fast forward to 1996, and we find the Lincoln cent at a point in its history where both its design and metal composition have been standardized for years. The 1996 Lincoln cent, like its predecessors since 1982, was struck using a copper-plated zinc composition. The reason for this shift to zinc was primarily economic. The rising cost of copper in the late 20th century made it more expensive to produce pennies out of mostly copper. The D mint mark on the 1996 penny tells us it was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the major facilities of the U.S. Mint. Coins produced at the Denver Mint are typically known for their high-quality strikes, and the 1996 penny is no exception. The Denver Mint played a key role in producing a large portion of circulating coins, and the 1996 penny was minted in significant quantities. The obverse of the 1996 Lincoln cent features the timeless image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, whose leadership during the Civil War and the abolition of slavery made him one of the most revered figures in American history. The portrait, designed by Brenner, has been in use since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in the world. Above Lincoln's head, the word Liberty is inscribed, a reminder of the core values Lincoln fought to preserve. On the reverse side, we find the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in place since 1959, replacing the original wheat ears design that was used from 1909 to 1958. This reverse design was created by Frank Gasparo to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. If you look closely, you can even see Lincoln's statue seated within the memorial, a tiny but powerful detail that reflects both his physical monument in Washington, D.C. and his monumental impact on the nation. The dual symbolism of Lincoln on both the front and back of the coin represents not only the man himself but also the enduring values of freedom, unity, and equality that he championed. The 1996 Lincoln cent had a very high mintage, with over 6.5 billion pennies produced at the Denver Mint alone. In total, approximately 6,510,795,000 of these pennies were struck. Because of this high mintage, finding a 1996 penny in circulation is still fairly common today. However, while the 1990-60 Lincoln cent is not considered rare in terms of overall mintage, the condition and variety of the coin play a major role in determining its value. Coins in lower grades that have been in circulation for many years might only be worth their face value. However, high-grade coins or those with errors can fetch significantly higher prices. What makes some 1990-60 pennies stand out is the potential for mint errors and special varieties. These varieties can make a relatively common coin into a much more valuable and sought-after piece. Let's look at some of the most important varieties and errors associated with the 1990-60 penny. 1990-60 double die obverse DDO. A double die error occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the minting process, resulting in a doubling effect on certain features of the coin, such as the date, Lincoln's profile, or the inscriptions. While no major double die varieties have been confirmed for the 1990-60 Lincoln cent, collectors are always on the lookout for minor varieties, as any such discovery can drastically increase a coin's value. Off-center strikes. Off-center strikes are another sought-after mint error. These occur when the blank coin planchet is not properly aligned with the dies, resulting in a coin that is struck off-center, with part of the design missing. The value of off-center strikes varies depending on how much of the design is missing, but they can range from $20 to several $100, especially if the date is still visible. Die cracks and cuds. Over time, the dies used to mint coins can develop cracks or other defects. When this happens, the coins struck with those dies may show raised lines or blobs of metal known as cuds on the coin's surface. These errors can be minor or dramatic, but they often add a premium to the coin's value depending on their size and location. Clipped planchet. A clipped planchet error occurs when the blank coin is improperly cut, resulting in a coin that is missing a portion of its edge. These coins are highly collectible and can command high prices depending on the size of the clip and the overall condition of the coin. Now let's dive into the all-important question: how much is a 1990-60 Lincoln cent worth? For circulated 1990-60 pennies, most will only be worth their face value of 1 cent. However, as with all coins, condition is key. Coins in higher grades, especially those that have been preserved in mint state MS condition, can be worth much more. Mint state examples: MS66 to MS67. A 1990-60 penny in MS66 grade can be worth 10 to 15, while an MS67 example could fetch 50 to 100 or more, depending on market demand. The rarity of finding a coin in these top grades makes them highly desirable to collectors. Error coins. Error coins such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or clipped planchets can greatly increase the value of a 1990-60 penny. For example, a well-preserved off-center strike could be worth $50 to several $100 depending on the severity of the error. Proof coins. While the Denver Mint did not produce proof coins, proof versions of the 1996 penny were struck at the San Francisco Mint. These proof coins are known for their high-quality strikes and reflective surfaces, and a PR70 deep cameo-proof 1996 penny can be worth $25 to $50. While the 1990-60 Lincoln cent may not seem like a coin that would offer significant returns right now, its long-term potential as an investment should not be overlooked. There are several factors that make the 1990-60 penny a good candidate for long-term growth. 1. High-grade coins will become scarcer. As more coins are lost or damaged over time, the number of high-grade examples will diminish. This scarcity will drive up the demand and value for top-quality coins. 2. Mint error coins. Error coins are always in demand among collectors. The scarcity of error varieties from 1990-60 means that the few that do exist are likely to increase in value as they become harder to find. 3. Historical legacy. The Lincoln cent is an enduring symbol of American history. As time goes on, collectors will continue to seek out Lincoln cents to complete their collections, and the 1990-60 penny will remain an integral part of any comprehensive set. In conclusion, the 1990-60 Lincoln Liberty 1-cent coin is more than just a common penny. Its rich history, the possibility of error varieties, and its potential for future appreciation make it an important piece for collectors. Whether you are looking for high-grade coins or hoping to discover a valuable mint error, the 1990 60 penny has much to offer. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all things numismatics. Let us know in the comments if you have come across any valuable 1990 60 pennies. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting, and God bless you in every matter.